Mayweather used to just stand in front of the back, right? Just like that 40 minutes, throw a couple hooks.
George Foreman too. It's hit the bag. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it works out. Get sweat.
He used to break the bag.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Yeah, heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
See, I thought that was you.
I can't match somebody's powers who's that big and that much mass. You know, the only thing that allowed me to be excited because I do it faster than other guys.
More explosive. How did you explode like that? Was that natural?
No, nothing's natural. I was nothing about me natural. Only my desire to win was natural. I had a great teacher.
Did he instill that desire in you, your coach?
No, only you can do that.
Yeah.
You're born with it and somebody can elicit it out of you.
George Foreman's legacy in boxing is nothing short of legendary. Known for his immense power, Foreman earned the title of one of the hardest punchers in history.
Like a world apart going into this fight.
Well, George Foreman always promoted his strength. His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that. And so, I had people talking about, well, he did this, he did that. I said, look, hey, boxing is not all about strength. I said, no. I said, he got to try to hit me. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's not fast. I said, so he throw these big shots. But the difference is that he got good timing. And so that's what I realized, because I pulled back, and by the time I pulled back from the shot ain't got done yet. Bam! I bring my head back because that's how slow he is, his timing. But he got right time. He know that you gonna come back at the right time when because he's supposed to be gonna miss me, and I come back.
Bam!
When I come back, it's coming. Oh,
yeah.
Right? So I realized, okay, then I got to dance around him a little bit and pack him like this, and so the whole big thing about boxing is making the guy come forth while you punching at the same time. That's how you can maximize your power on him. And I was able to do it sometime, but he was a good disciplined fighter. He didn't lose all this energy on me. He was able to push it off with the big arms and maul me. He kind of mauled me in the corner a lot. I couldn't even get out. He was so much stronger.
Even legends like Mike Tyson have acknowledged his unmatched strength, with Tyson calling him the hardest hitter ever.
Just before the fight, I'm looking at him. I said, sucker, you are in trouble tonight. You are fighting the greatest fight of all times. You heard I was the greatest, like you just said you heard this, now you see it. I said, you said I was the greatest, but you're gonna see. I'm fast, sucker. I'm gonna burn you up. You're fighting your idol. I talked through the whole fight. I said, come on, sucker. I said, show me something. They told me you could hit hard. You're just a sissy. Come on, sucker. Show me something. Oh, I grabbed his head sometimes and I said, look at you. Round 7. And you're tired. You have 8 more rounds to go. And he's just throwing them. He's breathing. I said, oh, you finished, boy. You are in trouble. I said, you don't have but 2 chances, slim and none.
Throughout the years, if any, or would you like to share a little bit about that?
Well, George and I have always spoken to each other cordially. I've reached out and called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
Foreman's punch could shatter heavy bags during training, and opponents feared stepping into the ring with him, knowing they'd face pure destruction.
Boom, 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 boom. That's how it works out. Get sweat.
He used to break the bag.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Yeah, heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that.
Reached out and called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
In 1973, Foreman made history by knocking out Joe Frazier 6 times in just 2 rounds, capturing both the WBA and WBC heavyweight titles in one of the most dominant performances in boxing.
Whoever is scared of anybody in the ring. Now be honest. Ali, I mean,
it's strange. I wasn't afraid of Muhammad. I lost the title to Muhammad, but I remember Joe Frazier. He was the toughest guy I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe Frazier. My mother watched him fight on television, and he hit a guy so hard the guy turned his back. And I kept thinking, I want to be champ of the world, but I sure hope Joe Frazier died. It was time to fight Joe Frazier, and I knew if you hit him, he liked it. If you miss him, he'd get upset. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? But I had this habit of staring guys down. I look them in the eye to psych them out. If they dropped their head, I knew I had an advantage, but I was hoping Joe Frazier wouldn't drop his head because my knees were shaking. At that time, I wish I had even started that.
Even after his loss to Muhammad Ali in the infamous Rumble in the Jungle, Foreman's power and heart remained undeniable.
Redemption is a powerful word. It's a scary word. It's a powerful word. I know it firsthand. It's very powerful. Very powerful. And he had redemption on his side. George Foreman was a special man. Michael Moore was a special man. George Foreman got put into retirement by Muhammad Ali, really Jimmy Young, but Ali did it. And Ali broke down the monster that night in Zaire. He exposed the monster. He broke down this Herculean fighter that could knock down, walls. And he broke him down. And he made him live with that. He retired. He had one more fight. He got beat by Jimmy Young. Then he retired for 10 years. And he went into the church. He went into, God's work. And during those 10 years, he suffered privately. I know he did. He suffered privately what happened in Zaire. Because in some ways, maybe similar to Tyson, but I think he was stronger than Tyson in other ways, ultimately. But very similar, and similar backgrounds where they came from.
Foreman's comeback in the late 80s and early 90s was equally remarkable. At 45, he defied all expectations by reclaiming the heavyweight title.
Covering the Rumble in the Jungle in the 70s, 74, 75, when he fought in Jamaica and he fought in Venezuela, in Caracas, when he fought in Zaire, Kinshasa, when he fought Norton, when he fought Frazier, and he absolutely eviscerated them. You got to remember what this guy achieved as a boxer, first of all. He won the Olympic, like you said, rightly said, in America, he's one of their greatest athletes. He won the Olympic gold for them in Mexico in 1968 as a real neophyte boxer, rather like Anthony Joshua did in London, where he hadn't had much of a career. You think after that, he turns pro, he beats Foreman, he beats Frazier, he beats Norton, and then he gets beaten by Ali. He's like Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson rolled into one at the time. He's just destroying everyone. He's one of the biggest punchers of all time. I have interviewed him. I don't know how many times I interviewed him. Many, many, many times. And always through Bill Kaplan, his PR guy, who was his PR guy from the age of him being 18. And Bill's in his late 80s and still PRing him to this day, this very day. It's a really sad thing because, like you say, what I wrote earlier on was that he filled up a room, big booming laugh, but not trying to command attention.
In 1994, becoming the oldest champion in boxing history, a record that still stands.
A half a century ago. Let's talk about that guy first. Tell us about the young George Foreman.
Well, if you look at boxing as a continuum, he was somewhere between, he was the scary guy. So he's between Sonny Liston and Mike Tyson. And, Joe Frazier was about as tough a guy who's ever laced up gloves. He put him down 6 times. And I think that really crystallized Foreman's reputation as invincible. Everybody, who's going to put down Joe Frazier 6 times? And it set up the Rumble in the Jungle, arguably as famous a fight as ever there was for Ali.
His resilience and determination inspired millions, proving that age is just a number. He invented himself as a beloved public figure, even finding success with his famous grill line.
You know, he didn't just reinvent himself. He was a bad guy who came back as a guy who was universally loved. That's a very difficult thing to do in any piece of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he basically changed everyone's mind about himself, and really a remarkable life. Our boxing commentator, Mark Kriegel, sharing some memories, some insight into George Foreman. Mark, thank you. George Foreman, born in 1949, has passed away here in 2025 at the age of 76.
His journey from feared knockout artist to a universally loved icon shows that redemption is possible.
I want you to pull up George Foreman knocks out Joe Frazier.
Oh, it was great. I thought Frazier was gonna die. He knocked him off his feet.
That was a crazy one because that was when Joe Frazier just beat Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
And then you see what Foreman does to Frazier, and everybody thought that Foreman was going to crush Ali, and they were scared. The power is so extraordinary that if he catches you at all, he thumps you with that jab and then just swings at you. Oh, look at that uppercut. Oh, my God. Look at that right hand. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at that uppercut. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh my God, it's power. And here it is, boom. For the 5th time he's down. This is crazy, this fight. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, what a warrior, Joe Frazier.
No matter the odds, George Foreman wasn't just a boxer. He was a testament to strength, heart, and the power of reinvention.